This is the Tier 1 match from the KDL Best of 3. BirdGang versus MVP Phoenix. Match number 2. Febby doing the picks and bans for BirdGang as their captain, and March handling things for MVP Phoenix. So ironically, players formerly from the old FXO team, pretty much the first, I guess, real professional DOTA2 team, you could say, from Korea, back when FXO was around. Now their players have kind of scattered across the land. Some of them are in 5 and Q. BirdGang and MVP have a few. But if we take a look at the bans, BirdGang removing the Visage as well as the Invoker, and MVP Phoenix, some respect bans with the IO and the Clockwork. So the bans from MVP Phoenix, so not a huge surprise there. I'm just, I'm impressed that they didn't really use Relocate too much, but the Wisp was still pretty darn effective for MVP Phoenix. And they're going to go ahead and pick up Nyx Assassin as the first hero. I'm assuming they're going to put him in the off lane, but that hero could also end up as support. Kind of too early in the draft to really know for sure, though. And BirdGang gonna have to figure out what they want to grab for their first 2 picks. It's gonna be the Ancient Apparition and Doom, formerly Doombringer follow-up. That's Carl. He was on the Razor last game. He did okay, but the problem is, I mean, just the Razor, I didn't really feel, it didn't fit into their lineup that well. There's a lot more synergy between MVP's, or not MVP, BirdGang's team. Ho ho, Phoenix! Bringing out the Ember Spirit as the second pick. I am very curious to see if MVP are gonna play Ember Spirit like they did last time when they played against Zephyr and they actually managed to take a game off of them, or if they're gonna run them in a more of an aggressive stance towards the mid lane. We're seeing a lot of teams run Ember Spirit more in a position 2 role than a position 1. So we will see if MVP is going to continue the trend by putting him in that safe lane, or if they're going to switch things up a little bit and kind of confuse BirdGang. Forov did a decent job on the Bane. There was some synergy for MVP. I felt like the Razor was out of place. If they had a better offlaner, I could have seen the game maybe going a little bit better for them. It just did not work out. And so far, powerful picks on both ends. Doom and Ancient Apparition really being played a lot recently in competitive Dota. Ancient Apparition grabbing a lot of traction somewhat recently. I think Doom, it's been around the block for a little bit longer as far as, I guess, the current trends in the meta. And the next set of bans, the Magnus, as well as the Grand Magus, are going to be removed from play by BirdGang. And 2 powerful mids, the Outworld Devourer and the Storm Spirit, are removed by MVP Phoenix. I am wondering if this is going to be a mid Ember Spirit. It certainly is possible, especially if you can play against that Doom mid. I think that's going to favor MVP. But it's still a little bit too early to tell. BirdGang, they decide to grab the Bane as their 3rd pick. Febby could end up on that hero. He could end up on anyone, man. Who knows? So MVP thinking about their third grab. There's still really a lot on the board for them to grab. Their draft's wide open. They need another support, an offlaner for sure. Well, unless it's the Knicks. Then in that case, they need 2 more supports. And they could even maybe run a jungler. If they don't want to put Ember Spirit mid, they need to go ahead and grab a mid still. And BirdGang, they can put a lot of different heroes in different areas. And Phoenix deciding to go with the Enchantress. I like that hero, the extra healing she provides. Well, it's not going to be too effective against the Ancient Apparition, but it can be useful against the Doom from the Doom. I kind of wish Valve kept Doom's old name as Doombringer. But no, his name is Doom, and his abilities are Doom. It's the way of things for the Doombringer. So March, he did okay. Last game, he did hit some arrows, but I don't know. I didn't feel the impact of the Mirana last game that you can feel by some other players. BirdGang, they have their supports. They have a Doom which can go anywhere, basically. Probably see him in the mid lane, off lane, jungle area. You don't see him in the safe lane too much unless it's a solo safe lane, offensive try. But okay, Bounty Hunter, that's going to be the off laner for BirdGang. And it's also going to kind of help out against the Nyx Assassin as well. You won't be able to Vendetta away. So he'll pretty much be forced to use that spell offensively. JYU, despite his lane not going amazing, he did have a pretty good mid and late game for his Tiny. And Vengeful Spirit, the 4th grab for MVP Phoenix. This pretty much confirms that this is going to be an offlane Nyx Assassin. So the last question is, where is this Ember Spirit going to go? Is he going to the mid lane, or is he going to be played in the safe lane? Based on MVP's history, I would say he's going to end up as a position 1 carry. But it's still up in the air. Certainly still up in the air. Mirana's still in the pool for BirdGang. That would be a very nice hero for them to grab. They could offensive tri-lane and shut down this Ember Spirit pretty hard, especially with the jungle Enchantress. And that would put the Doom mid, Bounty off lane. I think that would be a good pickup for BirdGang. But if they can think of another hero that go offensive try, it would work out, then by all means they could go for it. The Viper's the last ban by BirdGang. Looks like they don't want a really good mid hero. And Mirana, MVP Phoenix, smart with the Mirana ban. I'm pretty sure that's what BirdGang wanted to run. But now they're going to have to think, what do they want as their last pick? Life Stealers in the pool. I don't know if they're going to offensive try with that, though. I guess they can just go ahead and move to the safe lane, put Bound in the off lane. And whoa, it's a Night Stalker. So I think they're gonna lane Night Stalker. They're not gonna have him in the mid lane. Keen could end up on the Night Stalker though. There's still a lot that MVP can do. I mean, if they want to be really crazy, they can even put Ancient Apparition mid. Or maybe do a little bit of dual lanes. Okay, MP for BirdGang. It's going to be on the Night Stalker. So that Night Stalker most likely heading towards the middle lane. And Doom may be in a bit of a position 1 role. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've been waiting for. Dodo action from Korea. KDL. This is going to be the second match between BirdGang and MVP Phoenix. Can BirdGang close out the series and grab their first win, or will MVP take them down and bring it to a match 3? Let's find out. This is match 6, set 2, game 2 out of a best of 3 between BirdGang and MVP Phoenix. Currently, BirdGang leads by a single match, and this commentary is provided by myself, Whiplash, currently residing in Korea, broadcasting on site, a real hand mic and everything. MVP Phoenix will be the spawning on the Radiant side, and BirdGang, they're handling the Dire end of things. MVP already with some interesting wards. They do have good range over the river, and even getting rid of, I believe, a counter ward, or invis ward, so nice. Nice job by them getting rid of the BirdGang shenanigans. And that was a normal ward. So that's going to help out the Enchantress as well. She would have had a much harder time jungling without an extra camp or two to deal with. So Vengeful Spirit going to be helping out Ember Spirit in the bottom lane. Is a position 1 Ember Spirit. And it's going to be a dual lane mid versus Nevermore, the Shadow Fiend. So Febby helping out MP, at least for the time being. Oh yeah, and that first ability of his, Carl's going to have a much harder time last hitting with the reduced damage. Alright, so Febby, he is going to rotate towards the top lane. Carl basically just tickling MP, the amount of damage he does. He's going to be back to full strength, though. Oh, Heen getting very aggressive. Febby's back in the fray, though, and holy crap. This is some serious, like, fake outs on both ends. The stuns can come out at any point. But I think this is going to just end up being a dual lane versus a tool lane in the mid. Always fun to see those dual lanes, and Tenbird and Forev exchanging some blows. Pretty even, though, as far as the hits go. Oh, but here comes the smoke from Ryzen. He has 2 of the Centaurs that help stun. Febby's in a lot of trouble. He's slowed, a negative armor, but you should be okay. March just chilling out in the top lane for the time being. Nothing too interesting happening there. BirdGang, I do find their composition a little bit weird. The Night Stalker, though, I mean, MVP, they have a lot of squishies. When it comes to the nighttime, that Night Stalker should be able to kind of tear them apart. So he won't fall off as hard as he normally does in the late game. Stun hits MP. Carl, is there going to be a follow-up? Oh, I think he could have gotten the kill there. I think Carl just kind of messed that one up. But yeah, notice how MVP, they really just are switching up their lanes a lot. Normally it's Heen in the mid, it's Carl this time around. He was in the off lane last time. March, though, a little bit more common in the off lane. Being just an annoying pest in every way possible, the JYU. He is a bug. A bug with no mana. 4F handling the Ember Spirit. Oh, Tenbird, he's in a lot of trouble, though. Actually, is that going to be a first blood? Indeed it is. Goes the Heen. And Tenbird, he doesn't normally play on the offlane role. I guess just got a little bit too go-lucky happy there. far as last hits go, MVP, their Ember Spirit's doing pretty solid. Doom's not far behind, though, for BirdGang. And Shadow Demon and Night Stalker. Not Shadow Demon, Night Stalker. So many demons and knights, and sometimes they just become tongue twisters for me. But nevermore, the Shadow Fiend versus the Night Stalker. They're evil demons, okay? They're pretty even in the lane. I guess Night Stalker a little bit farther behind, though. March, and a bit of trouble, but not enough to make him go down for the count. I don't know why they're focusing so much on this Nyx. There's not too much going on there. Well, Tenbird managing to find a little bit of farm. As 11 last hits. MP, though, he's hurting a little bit now. He has his bottle, but the difference is becoming apparent versus Carl. And, I mean, it is a Shadow Fiend. One of the better heroes in the mid lane. Really hard to deal with. Just, you know, once you get up like level 4 or 5 and you start stacking up those souls, and you just do so much damage, it's very easy to last hit and deny against your opponent. You're just going to have a damage advantage over whoever you face. And Doom's managed to pick up his phase boots. We could see a hand of Midas from him later, but for now we don't. And Ember Spirit's probably going to be building into a very early Battle Fury, especially with the early Perseverance that he has acquired. At 6 minutes in, besides the first blood on Tenbird, nothing too notable. MP does get the double damage rune. So this could encourage him to be aggressive and go for a gank. Bebby is moving towards the mid lane. But Heen's around Tenbird, hits him, and this is not looking good. Heen, I think he's going to end up falling. There's your trade, 1 for 1. Overall, not in that engagement. And Bane picks up a smoke. So this won't be the last of the early aggression we see from BirdGang. This guy just doing a little bit of creep pulling. JYU continuing his pretty darn solid farm. Same with the 4Ev. In the jungle for the time being. Just grabbing a few extra last hits. It's basically, for this Ember Spirit, he's going to be playing PvE over the next few minutes. As much as he can. Yeah, Ember Spirit already up to 52 last hits. He is in a wonderful position. Doom's doing pretty good as well. Shadow Fiend all right. Night Stalker up to about 10 kills behind the Night Stalker. The Shadow Fiend on the last hit, so could be a little bit better for him. And the offlaners, both respectively with a bit of farm to their name. Oh, and stun hits JYU. Nice. Rotation from Heen, and are they going to get JYU? Oh, wow, actually a Doom on March. Doom survives. Heen actually falls. There's your turnaround. Phoenix trying to kill JYU, but that extra chainmail early on the Doom has really helped him out. That and the Bracer building for toughness. Built like a Ford truck. Yeah, if that Doom did not build so tanky, he would have been dead. And Tenbird actually caught, thanks to that Sentry Ward, but this does alert BirdGang of that presence. Forev. He has his mana boots now. Battle Fury follow-up. It's pretty evident. A 10 bird. He's looking for blood. Does he have the level 6 yet? I'm pretty sure he does. He's been in the offlane for a while. Didn't really die too much besides the first blood. I think he was able to leech a lot of experience. Oh, Carl. There's no sentry ward for MVP. He gets tracked, but there's not enough follow-up, really. Well, MVP has Ryzen and Heen nearby, just in case things go sour for Carl. All right, smoke activated by the Venge. Are they gonna try to get the kill in mid lane? Nightstalker, he's back pretty far though. Oh, an Ember Spirit moving in on Febby. It's good enough. The Doom is, it's hitting Forev. Damage is being taken, but is it going to be enough? Yes, indeed it is. Down goes Forev. This Doom really, he's making some space. Timber now joining the fight. He's going to get the track off. Can he manage the kill? March, indeed he does. Will we see a second track? There it is. Track. BirdGang just going straight on top, but a little bit too much damage taken. He could actually end up dying, but no! Survives just long enough. Carl teleported in, realizing this is not the place he wants to be. He's tracked, but has a haste rune available. Gets hit with a bit of a nuke. Reinforcements coming from MVP. Now he's going on the Doom. Is it enough? Febby gets the Nightmare. In comes Ember Spirit once again. MP getting the kill on Carl. And this is quite an even game in gold and experience. Despite it being 2-6, almost neck and neck. This just goes to show you how badly MVP Phoenix has been out-farming BirdGang in their lanes. 76 last hits, 11 and almost a half minutes into the game. And that's with one death. That's pretty insane on the Ember Spirit. Doom as well, doing very well. Has a Midas. Oh no, actually that's Carl with the Midas, excuse me. And Sky has boots, a good amount of money saved up. I think he's gonna get a point booster. I'm working to that ultimate staff. An Agnum Scepter. Throwing an Ice Ball to the bottom lane. Hits Heen, in comes the rest of BirdGang. They're going on 4-5. He falls very fast. Nuke to the face. Heen is gone. Down for the count. Ryzen, he's trying to stay alive, but man, BirdGang just trouncing over the opposition. And this is turning into something like game number 1. MVP Phoenix, they are not prepared for BirdGang. Well, they're trying to move in. The stun whiffs, though. Doesn't hit Sky. If that stun hit, that would have probably been a death. MVP actually needs to be very careful. In comes the stun. There's going to be a slow follow-up. Ice Blast, and oh, March, he's going to get hit as well. And is it enough to survive? No, it's not. Forev now moving in on Febby. He gets Brain Stab. Is it enough? Indeed it is. Now on to MP. But MP falls. It's a 2-for-3 trade. BirdGang not getting the better end of that stick. This Ember Spirit also now has enough money. He's picked up the Claymore. That's going to be a Battle Fury. Late game. MVP Phoenix, they should have, I think, a bigger advantage over BirdGang. It's just getting there. That's going to be the tough part. Carl has the Midas. He's eventually going to farm up. It's just a matter of time. There's already the Battle Fury on Forev. So he's going to continue farming like I guess a Flaming Ember Spirit does. Still leading the overall gold chart as well. There's a smoke. MP, Febby, and Tenbird together looking for a kill. BirdGang, they have a really just aggressive mobile team. They want to get the ganks in. They want to shut down these heroes before they get too strong. And of all of them, they need to shut down Ember Spirit. He is number one. Silence hitting March, but MVP, they're all nearby. Doom hits Forev. And Carl releasing his ultimate. Stun hits MP. Out comes the Ice Blast as well. MVP now in full retreat. 2 are dead. 3 are going to fall, and it's just looking worse and worse for MVP Phoenix. Stud hitting March. He's vendetted away as well. Oh, the nukes. The nukes from JYU. They're enough. Forev can't carry this team alone. He can try, but he can be really annoying, actually. But he can't do it on his own. That's the problem. The rest of MVP, they need to help make space. They need to have someone else dealing out some good damage besides him. Carl on the Shadow Fiend. Haven't seen a lot from him. BirdGang, they've been very aggressive. They've been all over the map, making their ganks work extremely well. They already have the bottom tower. And that's Doom 2-0 and 9. Febby and Tenbird looking for some blood. Oh, Sky and Carl gonna spot each other there ever so briefly. Oh, Ryzen, he's got out of position. He's gonna fall. Easy pickings. An Ancient Apparition picking up some Tranquil Boots. So not the fastest move into the Agnum Scepter. Ooh, March almost spotted. MP uses his ultimate, reducing the vision of the enemy team. Looking for some wards to the counter, not finding them. But yeah, 16 minutes into the match, it's 5-16. BirdGang with a pretty large advantage over MVP Phoenix, and they're going in on Heen. The Ice Blast, the switch. I don't think that really hits anyone, but in comes Forev, gets a kill from the look of things. Carl as well taking out Tenbird. And there's a buyback from the Bounty Hunter. How fast can he get back into the fight? That's the question. BirdGang, it's a lot of low health heroes for them. But they lost the Nyx. They lost the Vengeful Spirit as well. Can they defend the Tier 1 tower? Forev starting to come online. He does need to get another damage item or two, but he's not being given the space to farm at all. BirdGang, they are relentless in the pressure they're putting on MVP. Just getting rid of a few of the wards. Tenbird. Looks like he's going to be getting a back king bar next. Ryzen pretty poor. Just an urn, normal boots, a few support items. He's hurting. And Carl looks to be building into a Manta style most likely. Has the Yasha at least. And it looks like we will see Enchantress eventually get some normal boots. Febby actually, 2 bracers and a gem. Wants to make sure that that Nyx Assassin is not a big part of the problem. Forev getting a little bit of extra farm. Yeah, that Battle Fury. One thing to note, when you're waving around, the splash damage from the Battle Fury, it ignores armor. So it's really good against big tanky things, and it's also great against other heroes. Ancient Apparitions throwing out an Ice Ball. Going to be annoying, but nothing else. At least that time. Sky does have the point booster, some Tranquil Boots, wards, and I would like to see him get that Agnum Scepter on the line. The sooner he does that, the better off BirdGang's going to be in these team fights. Not to say they're doing bad, they're doing great, but we are seeing MVP Phoenix start to gain a little bit more composure. So BKB finished as well as the mechanism for the Doom. Night Stalker as well, picking up his Black King bar. MP, what's he looking for? He's not going to find anyone on his side of the jungle. The team is pretty segregated across the map. Invisibility Rune, though, picked up by the Nyx Assassin. Only level 8, though. He's a little bit behind in levels. And Forev has the Chrysalis. That's an important item pickup from him. Probably will eventually build that into a Daedalus. Unless he wants to grab another damage item before going into that, but you generally just want to go for that Daedalus. Get that extra crit damage in. And the tier 1 tower, it's going to be uncontested. MVP aren't saving that. BirdGang considering the blaze down the trail. Just trying to go towards the bottom. There's an Ice Blast heading towards the bottom, though. And it looks like it's going to hit those heroes. It hits one. So Forev, he's got good damage. He's got great damage. He's gonna have to hit a lot of Sleight of Fists, and oh wow! Tenbird getting the kill on Carl. And now they're going on Forev next. He's actually held in the Fiend's Grasp, and Forev! Down he goes, BirdGang. That was an important kill for them to gain. This is pretty much solidified BirdGang's advantage. This means that Forev is not going to be a huge problem, as it could be. It's just delayed him by a lot. And into the Roshan pit go BirdGang. Silencing him up. It's like they don't want him to use his stomp ability. And yeah, with the Medallion of Courage, negative armor on Roshan, he should fall quite easily. And down he goes. Haste Rune in the bottom river should be the follow-up. Carl, though, he does have his Manta style. Not a lot of survivability, though. Would like to see a Black King bar. Bane trying to suck the remaining life out of that creep, not going to happen. Vladimir's offering now on the Bounty Hunter will definitely be helpful to his allies. There are 2 melee heroes on his team. And Forev going to just try to be annoying. Sleight of Fist as much as possible. He has to be careful. Doesn't want to get too close, though. Or he could get hit by a silence, a stun, Fiend's Grip, something. The tier 2 is under attack. Actually, MP and Sky already down to half health, forcing that mech out. Track on Carl. BirdGang, they have good positioning. MVP, they have to play it safe. They have to play very calm and just kind of wait for their opponents to come to them. Oh, Febby, Nightmare. It's Carl. Rising gonna steal it from him. Yeah, I'm really not sure about this Enchantress pick versus the Ancient Apparition. Just doesn't seem to be too effective. Doom grabbing up a Blink Dagger. I'd love to see something along the lines of a Shiva's on him next. Little Blitz style. Night Stalker currently has the gem on him as well as the Aegis. Not too much else though, besides a Black King bar. Ooh. Oh, just an illusion. Nothing too crazy. And wow, there's a gem purchased by the Enchantress. Looks to be a Daedalus recipe purchased as well by Forev. Yeah, throwing out a few dashes, but in comes Doom. He is angry, and Black King Bard forcing the rest of MVP back for the time being. A little bit more sleight of fist annoyance. Forev is tracked, he is revealed. Same with Heen. And this middle tower is just, it's slowly going down. Sleight of fist useful, but I mean, it's just, he's not able to accomplish as much as he normally wants to. BirdGang, they're being aggressive. They're not giving any space to farm to the Ember Spirit. This has actually allowed Doom and Shadow Fiend to get ahead of him in net gold. It's pretty crazy considering how good the early farm was. March, they're going to go ahead and initiate on him. Nuke, nuke, nuke. Is he going to fall? Follow up. There's the Ice Blast. That's going to be a death. Bebby, though, will he end up falling as well? Carl, though, he's going to most likely be next. Tenbird chasing him down. One more hit, and he should be good, but he's going to survive. Tenbird paying the price for overextending. Febby could be next. The tower does fall. This is what MVP needs, though. That's a 2-for-1 trade. No more deaths, though. Oh, but Ancient Apparition. There's the Agnum Scepter. That's an important pickup. Very important pickup for BirdGang. 17 seconds now on the Ice Blast instead of about 12. But as the match progresses on, BirdGang, they're going to start falling off a little bit. MVP has got the better late game. But MVP, they just have to hold on for as long as possible. This Night Stalker is going to fall off. The Bane is going to kind of fall off as well. Besides, this ultimate Ancient Apparition will fall off. Bounty Hunter will be decent. Doom will be good. But MVP, they have harder carries. MP just Brawl running towards that middle lane. Down the middle lane, the rest of his team. 27.5 minutes into the match. MVP Phoenix not doing too amazing against BirdGang. They're treading behind 8-22. They've been doing a little bit better defending more recently, but still not the best of positions. There's the Daedalus pickup. I believe the proper plural pronunciation is Daedalios. And if a Daedalus has a son, it's Daedali. Today I learned on Reddit. Alright, well, BirdGang, they're just placing a lot of offensive wards in the enemy's jungle. A little bit of detection, a little bit of sight. Ooh, Agnum Scepter pickup as well for the Night Stalker. Giving him a little bit more beefiness and some other nice stats. And TP towards the bot. Stun hits Tenbird. Are there going the... Is there going to be a follow-up? No, there's not. And wow, that is a Very fast run away from 4F, but holy crap, look at the damage. Tenbird almost killed immediately. Where's that next sleight of fist? Well, I want to see it happen. Out it goes. Not enough. 2 dead already on MVP's side. There's the third sleight of fist, but the gems are all on BirdGang now. Like I said, Ember Spirit can't carry the game alone for MVP Phoenix.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Well, actually, Febly very low on health. He actually dies to the AoE, but the freeze hits for him. He's gonna fall. Ryzen could be next. BirdGang. that Doom was so slow he couldn't even get a single hit off, but man, things are not looking good at all for MVP Phoenix. 9-26. They're looking to lose their tier 3 tower. Carl, where has he been? Has a Lincoln Sphere as well. Can he get a kill on Sky? Lots of TPs away. But no. BirdGang gets away quite easily. So yeah, I mean, at this point, MVP, they're a little bit too far behind, really, to make this work. There's 2 gems. 2 gems on the Night Stalker, 1 for each eye, I suppose. And yeah, Shiva's Guard does look to be the follow-up for the Doom. It's gonna be just, extra armor. The mana's nice for here that just doesn't have a large mana pool. The AoE is good. Doom's a fun hero, just you can build him so many different ways. And there's that Shiva's Guard. And yeah, BirdGang, they have got a lot of their important items online. Tenbird's actually going to go for... He's going for a heart. That's really interesting. Don't see that too often on Bounty Hunter. Especially considering he's a strength hero. I guess he just wants to stay in these fights for as long as possible. I guess then the next question is what will be the follow-up item for the Night Stalker? A little bit of de-awarding happening by Sky. Ice blasting the bottom right side of the map. It's going to get rid of a few creeps. Borev is going for a second Battle Fury, I believe. All right, chilling touch on the entire gang of birds as they work on killing Roshan. Yeah, he should fall pretty easily. MVP Phoenix, they can't contest this. There's nothing they can do. And down goes Roshan. Another easy kill for BirdGang. Night Stalker picking up the Aegis. He is 7-1-9, by the way. BirdGang getting aggressive in their enemy's jungle, looking for somebody to pick off, someone to kill. Certainly not someone to love. Oh, BirdGang, they're pushing down the bottom lane. I think this is a good time for BirdGang to push. They don't want to give MVP enough time. They kind of get him back into this game. The way Doom is farmed and how powerful Night Stalker is now, it's going to be hard for them to really fall off that much. Those crits with that Battle Fury, man. Uh-oh, Carl. He's in a world of hurt. Forced to use his Manta style. Tenbird, very low on health. Uses the BKB, but down goes Nyx Assassin. 4Ev. What's he going to do? Throws out a Sleight of Fist. Fronts back home. Down goes Enchantress. This is a 2-for-0 trade. Are they going to get the tower, though? Can they get the tower? Tenbird is hidden. Well hidden behind enemy lines. 4F continues the continuously run home.
레디언트의 구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Tenbird just putting a mark on Carl.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
And that's going to be the tier 3 tower.
레디언트의
The rack should be the follow-up.
레디언트 하부 변형이 공격받고 있습니다.
Oh, Doom, he's blinking forward. Tried to get a Doom off, but it was popped by the Lincoln Sphere, I believe. And actually, JYU force-staffed away. He's low on health as well as Tenbird. Bebby, he's stunned. MVP, they're actually holding. They got 3 kills now. 3 for 1 trade. Pop the Aegis as well. Now, are they going to get MP? They get him. Carl gets the kill. What's going on, BirdGang? What is happening? They were doing so well, and then they just, like that, they gave away 4 kills, and the Aegis is gone. And now I'm starting to get concerned for BirdGang. They're very far ahead of the opposition, but MVP Phoenix, this Ember Spirit is just, if he gets another Battle Fury, man, what are you going to do against him? You have to get the Fiend's Grip, you have to do something. A Tenbird picks up a heart. Very unorthodox item. But it's going to give Bounty Hunter a lot of survivability that, against such a bursty team, I guess you might as well get. And so actually, I believe level-wise, Ember Spirit and Shadow Fiend are somehow at the top. They are. I think BirdGang have just been 5-manning a little bit too much, and it's starting to hurt them. And like I mentioned, they will eventually fall off, especially this Night Stalker. Meanwhile, 4F just gets stronger and stronger. I wonder if that's a sheep stick for the Night Stalker. Oh, wow. There's the second Battle Fury. Ember Spirit, this is where he starts to get nasty. Look at that, man. Just the DPS he puts out is insane, even against creeps. You get some crits, you get some cleaves, it's going to be game over. And it looks like 4F trading out a gem for the Town Portal Scroll. I guess he really is fond of that Quelling Blade. Febby does have the BKB available. That's the power of 2 Battle Furies and a Daedalus. Just goodbye, creep waves. See you later. Well, BirdGang, they do have a single tier 2 tower left, so it would be wise for them to try and take it. My only concern is that 4F may already be 2 farms. When he comes back to that lane and helps out his team, will BirdGang be able to properly push this tower? It looks like they do get the tower. Pretty much no defense from MVP. They want to just focus on that high ground advantage. That seems to be the name of their game. Oh, nice stun, hitting 2 or 3 of them. And a Doom is going to hit 4F. But he's going to be just fine. A little bit of a stun follow-up for staffing. JYU away. Oh, double stun thanks to the Nyx Assassin. Is it enough? No, it's not. March falls. And who's going to be next? Carl. It could be Carl. He's getting... Holy crap. Look at just... Players on both teams are just absolutely getting dropped. As a 4 for 2, though, BirdGang, things are starting to look really bad for them. Even Carl is managing to contribute to his team. He has a good amount of farm, I have to say. Uh-oh, Sky. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Yep. He's on fire and frozen at the same time. Don't ask how video games work. Very well played by MVP. BirdGang, they were doing so good early on, but I feel like their timing window to win this game is really starting to dwindle. In fact, their window may actually already be gone. The damage that Ember Spirit does may be too much. Just maybe too much.
다이어의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 중부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Alright, Ember Spirit with his teleportation boots of travel down to the bottom lane. Force staff acquired by the Vengeful Spirit. Skeleton doing a little bit of scouting. Notices BirdGang's movements, but who's going to get the haste rune? That's another good question. And Roshan right around the corner. Scythe of Vice picked up by the Night Stalker, giving him a lot of extra disable that he really needed. Especially in the team fights. They're going to be useful. And that bird just doesn't give a hoot about Roshan killing him off. Yeah, a bit of a lull in the action. 18-31, BirdGang in the lead kills-wise, but MVP Phoenix, they're not out of it yet. They've had some really good team fights over the past 10 minutes or so. It's possible for them to still win this game, despite it looking grim. It is possible, I repeat, for MVP to win. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the broadcast, feel free to drop me a line on my Twitter at Whiplash. If you have any constructive criticism towards my casting as well, I'm more than willing to check it out. And March gets a stun and blinks forward. Bit of a mana burn. He gets swapped though. And JYU. Oh, he falls. Too much MVP. Too much MVP. And that Ice Blast, like, who even cares at this point? Uh-oh. This is not looking good for Heen. He's in the Fiend's Grift. Down he falls. Tenbird forced to pop that BKB. Moving in on Ryzen, but look at that! But instantly, just heroes fall. In comes JYU. Is it enough to keep him alive? No, it's not. MVP! They have turned this around. I don't see BirdGang winning this anymore. It just, what can they do? What can they do? They don't have the late game. They don't have the late game. This will be the first Roshan for MVP. I imagine 4 picks will be picking up the Aegis. And the cheese goes to the Ryzen. Now Daedalus activated for a Shadow Fiend. Yeah, MVP's lineup is looking very scary. Look at that. Daedalus plus 2 Battle Furies equals dead creep wave. Oh, I've taken a bit of a break there. Moves to the mid lane. Oh, interesting to pick up a Lincoln Sphere or the Ember Spirit. Well, that is going to give him a little bit more survivability And he's essentially 6-slotted at this point. Magnum Scepter upgrade for the Enchantress. She's going for straight up damage this time around. Less of a support, more damage. Assault Cuirass almost online for Doom as well. MVP moving down the mid lane. This could be one of the biggest battles of the game. Tenbert already low on health. The BKBs have been used now by BirdGang, and they're able to do enough damage to take out the Doom. MP is going to be next. Down he goes. That's 2 for 0. Nick's low on health, but MVP. They're in it to win it. Tenbird low. Will he survive? Nope, it looks like MVP just want to work on the barracks. Forcing out the fortification. Will it even matter? And yeah, MVP, they have a pretty large experience gap advantage. Gold is almost in their favor. They're going to go towards the top. This has got to be game, ladies and gentlemen. BirdGang, they had an amazing early game. Very good. But mid-game, late game, it just slowly started going towards MVP. They have the better team in the later stages. And down goes MVP Phoenix. Excuse me, BirdGang. Down goes BirdGang, not MVP Phoenix. Even Carl picking up a Satanic. So I suppose the last pair of racks are in order. Unless they want to do some fountain camping. It's kind of like fishing with a dynamite. It's not really fair. Yeah, even the Doom is no match for the combo between the Ember Spirit and the Shadow Fiend. But MVP, I think they've got it. BirdGang, it's time for a GG, I think. So they're staying in for now, but that bottom tower is not long for this world. Doing a little dance, coming home, picking up some money. Literally easiest gold of his life. Oh, poor Tenbird. That's gotta burn. And the rest of BirdGang are going to fall, and the GG is called. That's gonna be all she wrote for BirdGang. What a match. Very one-sided in the beginning, but then it was a big turnaround. MVP with some amazing defense at the tier 3. Slowly started turning around those team fights, and in the late game they had enough to take the win. MVP has to go to the Ember Spirit. So the score currently tied 1-1 between BirdGang and MVP Phoenix. This is a best of 3. KDL Korean DOTA2 League. We're going to go into a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're going to have the third match. See you guys in a few.